Many might be hard-pressed to disagree that we grew up as part of a great generation in a great place. This city of Jamestown, New York. Our youth was a time when Jamestown was a vibrant city, with a hustle and bustle downtown, a shiny new city hall under construction, and even a store with an escalator. In the town where we grew up, there was one local high school, which we all attended, along with our other family members, brothers, sisters, and cousins. We grew up with 3 5 and dimes with lunch counters and spinning stools, drugstores with soda fountains, 3 movie theaters, a number of diners, multiple shoe stores, a car hop drive-in restaurant, drive-in movies, all part of what we experienced growing up in this city of Jamestown, New York. There were mom and pop corner stores, neighborhood meat markets, full-service gas stations, Allen Park with a community swimming pool, actually more like a wading pool, and pony rides, the 100-acre lot, the Boys Club, the Girls Club, the YMCA, the YWCA, sandlot baseball diamonds within walking or biking distance, playgrounds galore, 2 community tennis courts that turned into ice skating rinks in the winter, a municipal golf course, and a community winter sledding and skiing hill, complete with a tow rope to bring the skiers back to the top of the hill for more runs. Unique to Jamestown was a benevolent community that provided things we just took for granted, things many of us found were not exactly norms in the communities where we now reside. The city government ran a hospital, a medical clinic, an electric system, water and sewer systems, a bus service, an airport, and the only city-run community college in New York State. Jamestown even had a contract with a local farmer to provide horses, which pulled rowboat-shaped sidewalk snowplows. Speaking of snow, does anyone ever remember a snow day? Irrespective of the snow depth, we all walked to school, and our parents went to work. Nothing shut down. Our city was even honored with a song written about it back in the 60s titled Jamestown, New York. That's my hometown. It's available on YouTube.
Let me tell you about my hometown. It's a year-round land of vacation. And nearby on the lakes, the Chautauqua Institution. Jamestown, Jamestown, New York. That's my hometown. Jamestown, New York. That's my hometown. Falconer and Bemis Point and Lakewood are all nearby. Jamestown, New York. That's my hometown. Jamestown, New York. That's my hometown.
We grew up in a time of family church services, family dinners, family picnics, family Sunday rides to wherever, capped off with a visit to our grandparents, and then on to the new McDonald's on Fairmount Avenue, where parents could feed the family of 5 for under $3. In hindsight, JHS was a great homogenizer. It included in one place those whose parents worked in factories and those whose parents owned the factories, blue-collar families along with white-collar families, those from families of medical professionals, along with those from families of store owners and store clerks. At Jamestown High School, we were all together in one building, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. from September until June. However, we didn't dwell on this. It's simply the way it was. We lived in a time where no one had to worry about forgetting their cell phone, being bored, or having to find something to do. If we couldn't find something to do on our own, our parents just might find something for us to do beyond our regular responsibilities. It was a time of responsibility. When we did go out, our parents had to know where we were going, and we had to know what time to be home for supper. After supper and doing our post-meal chores, we might have been able to go outside, where 5 minutes after the streetlight came on was our curfew. We lived in a time when there were expectations. Accountability was a mainstay. There were consequences for violations of rules. We were taught to respect people and institutions. We grew up with the best music on AM radio and the best shows on those 3 channels from Buffalo we could get on our TVs. For a while, Jamestown even had its own broadcast TV station. We grew up with many opportunities offered to us to help us become the most well-rounded people we could be. We grew up with lessons in the importance of family and friends, loyalty to country, respect and gratitude to our military, law enforcement, first responders, neighbors, and our city. We were taught to always remember where we came from, and judging by those who've left the area to pursue their lives elsewhere and return often for vacations and reunions, we learned those lessons well. We grew up in a time and place where you could mix up every kid in the city and give them to any set of parents, and our lives would have turned out roughly the same as they did. We grew up in a place where those of us who were born here attended the very same high school as did our parents, and some of us even had the same teachers and books as did our parents. When we meet others who brag that their high schools had vast academic programs, we went to a school that proudly offered wood shop, metal shop, and auto shop, all of which prepared students for jobs in the local economy. And after graduation from JHS, many became the first in their families to have an opportunity to attend college. At the same time, the school system had an excellent music program. In the near century-long existence of the Jamestown High School a cappella choir, many here sang some of the very same traditional selections as their parents did in their years at JHS. Our high school was founded in 1867. 1934 graduated the last class at the old JHS, followed by its demolition. The new high school was completed by the opening of school in 1935, all except the auditorium and gymnasium. Those two additions were completed in the next 2 months, and on Saturday, November 14, 1935, the new Jamestown High School was formally dedicated. Delivering the dedication address that day was a man who went on to become the United States Attorney General, U.S. Supreme Court Justice, and Chief Prosecutor at the Nuremberg War Crimes trials after World War II, and a postgraduate student at JHS, Robert H. Jackson. Jamestown High School was, and still is, a vortex. In our day, it circled us all from a dozen or so elementary schools, 3 public junior high schools, and 2 parochial schools, and funneled us down to one school at the top of a hill at 350 East 2nd Street, and which is responsible for bringing us all together once again tonight. It's safe to say we can all be biased and stand and profess that we all did grow up as part of a great generation. And we grew up in a great community, too. We went to a great school with a rich tradition and past. With all of the rules, the expectations, the consequences, and accountability, we didn't turn out to be such bad people. We seemed to survive it all. And it may be safe to say some even turned into their own parents when they had children of their own, passing their family's philosophy down, realizing it wasn't such a bad way to have been raised. Looking around the room tonight, we all seem to be rather unscathed, maybe a little bit slower, maybe a little more forgetful when we go from the living room to the kitchen, maybe a little achier, and with some gray hair, not showing as much a sign of aging as much as a sign of being a little more experienced and wiser. We remember those not with us tonight, those we've lost. Those who have health issues, those who have been busy sharing what we learned and experienced at JHS with their jobs and communities, and raise our glasses in a toast to all of them. And to all of us here tonight, may we stay safe, healthy, and may we always remember from where and whence we came. Salute.